Hi, my name is Rowe, and I'm an anger management specialist, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to deal with anger. All right, so how do we deal with anger? In order to be able to understand on how to really deal with anger, we must understand what anger really is. So what is anger really, right? Anger is a strong feeling or displeasure and antagonism and indignation or an automatic reaction to a real or imagined insult, frustration, or injustice. Okay, producing emotional agitation seeking expression. And so when I think about anger, and I wrote a book called I Love Anger, which I have right here. It's called I Love Anger. It's available on Amazon right now. It's Amazon top 100 bestseller when I released it. It's done really well and done a lot of different things with it, so I'm really excited about it. And so this is kind of like everything, how everything's kind of built upon on anger. So get the book if you can, check it out. And what that expression, that seeking expression really is because I feel some type of way about it, right? And say, how do I feel about something? The thoughts that I think create anger, right? Right? I wasn't born anger. Anger is natural. It's a normal human emotion, right? That we all have, but it can sometimes be harmful if not used in a healthy way, correct? We all know that. So the first thing is whatever our default is, if you say something to me and then my automatic reaction is to be able to curse you out, then I've already put that in my default. But if you really look at it, when you go back when you're younger, you didn't really have those responses before when people did those things. As you got older, you got to be able to find a different way to be able to respond to those things. And you get older, you realize you can kind of beat up people at that time. So how to really deal with that anger is to be able to not only understand what is the root cause. Like, that's number one. What is the root underlying thing of why you feel this particular way, right? What are, how you say it, those hidden things? What are those hidden things that you feel that's happened to you? Those repressed and suppressed emotions that you have. All right? So we all know that there's a reason behind every behavior. There's a reason why we do those things. There's a reason why I do this. And for me, I grew up in not so good neighborhoods. I grew up in the projects. My mother's on drugs. And when we talk about, like, you hear on music and talk about the trap house, my house was the trap house. And so as I'm being able to express my life and different things, I've been very transparent with you. I want to be able to bring you into my life because this is real for me. All right, this is real for me. This is not something I just conjured up and, I'm just like, oh, I want to talk about anger because it's something that I feel that it's in me. No, man, no. This is real. And so when we talk about anger, when I talk about anger, this is some real stuff. And so anger was controlling every aspect of my life. Like, that emotion ruled and controlled every aspect of my life because the way I grew up. And because my father wasn't there, and because of, being able to be in the projects and live in this certain type of conditions, and back then had gangs and violence and all these different types of things going on, I felt like my life was unfair. I felt like that, my life got cheated, like I got this bad hand and no one can come in here and be able to say, hey man, we're going to go ahead and replace and give you a new hand of cards to play with. It doesn't work that way. And so now I had to figure out a way of how to really deal with me in the situation. I don't know if you ever experienced that. Like, how do you deal with you? That's what we're looking at. How do we deal with you in that situation? How do I respond to what I am feeling? Right? And we get down to those hidden things, those angry roots, what was the reason why? What was the reason behind that behavior? That wasn't really it why you lashed out. That really wasn't what you really wanted to say, because when you're calm, when you're back to self, you don't feel that type of way. So why is it that I feel this way? What thing that it is? I'll say, okay, was it because, if you're in a marriage, in your relationship or whatnot, so your partner said something to you that was kind of messed up, it was kind of inappropriate, or something that just kind of rubbed you the wrong kind of way, and so that's how was it that was it really that, or was it something else that made you go out and lash out at work, or whatever the case may be, or you lashed out on the kids because you was dealing with something that was at work, or let's get to something a little bit deeper, like let's go to something when you're in your youth. It's like, well, maybe someone touched you in an inappropriate way. Maybe that was something. Maybe it was something that you felt that you saw when your parents divorced, that you just didn't really understand. Maybe you blamed yourself for it. All these different things. Like, what is really the underlying thing, or why you feel this way? And there's 3 things that I want to be able to share with you that really helped me. Was to, number 1, accept that the fact is that this happened. I need you to look in the mirror and look in the mirror and just say, like, look, I know that the situation happened, and I'm willing to not fight it anymore. Right? Because sometimes we get upset and we just like, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. We just keep fighting it, but we don't accept that this happened. I get tired of fighting with the past. I don't know about you, but I get tired of fighting with the past. That's something that already happened that you cannot change. Listen to that, what I just said. You're fighting with something that you cannot change. You are fighting with the past. So when we come to a conclusion and make a choice and decide that I am going to accept what happened to me, I'm going to not just accept it. And then I'm on to my second thing, is to be able to not only adapt to the situation. All right. So after I accepted it, I now adapt. And so what is adapt? To make suitable for a new use or purpose, right? So I need to now prepare myself in my thinking to think differently. Okay. Because the old way that I was thinking is not working for me. So now that I accepted it, I must now walk differently to the next step to be able to adapt. Like, how do I move in this? How do I make a change the way I think about and see these things? And like, well, what really is it? Maybe it just wasn't that bad. I understand that and I walk in this, right? And it's okay to not only just walk in it and embrace it, right? I said in my book, I said I got naked with the truth and I embraced it. I got naked with the truth and embraced it, and I put it on. Right? I kind of put that clothing on, I put that on. I was like, okay, I'm wearing it now. I'm wearing my scars. I'm not trying to hide it anymore. I get tired of hiding it. And I'm like, I just need to just walk. Like, how do I just progress and move on with my life? And so I adapt. And that leads me to my last one. Overcome. So we've accepted, adapted, and now we are overcoming. It's like, well, Isaac, what does that really mean? What does really overcoming really means? It means that not only did I just embrace everything and I accepted it and all that good stuff, but now I'm actually forgiving. That's that cuss word. It's forgiveness. Forgiving what happened. Forgiving that person that did that certain type of that hurt you or abused you or said anything to you. So I'm not only letting them off the hook, but you're letting yourself off the hook as well. Because if you look at it, man, forgiveness is for you first. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. you know, but forgiveness is for you first. When you can accept and adapt and overcome and realize that, look, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm human too, and I want somebody to forgive me, and you have that empathy. You come to a place where you are in the position to be able to forgive them. And I know some people will say, oh man, that's unforgivable. I said, you keep saying that. You're right. You keep saying that. You're absolutely right. You keep saying it. You keep saying it. I can't forgive. I can't forgive. You're absolutely right. Because the person that says that they can and the person that says that they can't, both usually are right. Because that's what you believe. That's what you think. But if I say that to myself and change the way I think, that I'm going to now forgive. I'm not saying that it's going to take over. It's going to be overnight. I'm not going to say it's going to forgive you immediately. It's not that. It's that I now stated and I gave those words life, that I now am going to forgive, and I forgive. And that's a process of forgiveness, of forgiving yourself, forgiving others daily. That's a practice. That's a practice of every day having enough grace, having enough mercy and enough empathy to be like, hey, I know that no one's perfect. I know that people make mistakes, and I don't even know what's going on with that person that made them say what they did or did what they did, or how their upbringing or their background or whatever the case may be. We don't know. But the fact is, I'm going to respond in this way, not react, but respond and say, look, I'm not going to give you this. I'm not going to give my power over to you. You no longer have power over me. And so, because you realize that that person that did that certain thing to you, they're living in your mind rent-free. They're living in your mind rent-free, right? So you're always thinking about that event, and they ain't even thinking about you. They're not thinking about you. But you're thinking about that situation and that marriage, and because my husband left me, or he cheated, or, you know, the kids did this, or, you know, whatever. Somebody cut me off on the road, and somebody wrecked my car, or somebody stole my best jewelry, or whatever the case may be, is that we got to just come back to self as like, is this really worth it? I guess that's a question we should ask. Is this really worth it? Me getting all riled up and getting all, you know, over this, is it righteous anger? Is it unrighteous anger? I'm just upset because I didn't have that control over it. I get it. It's normal. It's okay. It's okay to be angry. Don't sit there and try to fight it. Don't try to fight it. Just look, it happened. I am angry. I did not like for that to happen. You know what? That's the situation. And what I'm going to do is like, hey, I'm going to forgive you for whatever you did. I still remember. It's not like I'm not going to remember. I remember. But I'm not going to hold that grudge over your head. I'm not going to hold that. Because why? I don't want anyone to hold anything over my head. Because I don't know if you ever made a mistake. Or maybe you're just perfect. Okay? Maybe you're just perfect. But if you made a mistake and you know you messed up, or you didn't really mean it, or you didn't really come out that way, but it really did hurt that person's feelings, you can't control how they feel, but you can really apologize and like, look, I really didn't mean it for it to come out that way, or meaning to do that. You know, and some people won't give you the apology. And you have to know that you have to forgive everything, and don't wait on the apology. You might not never get the apology. So don't expect them to even know that they actually did something wrong, or they hurt you or said it. They may not never know. You have to take responsibility that you're not going to have them live in your mind anymore, and that you're going to take that power back, and you're going to live your life, and you're going to celebrate life. Okay? That you're going to celebrate. So that's accept, right? Accept, adapt, and overcome. And so when we come to the place of overcome, we now practice forgiveness, because now we have already dealt with certain things that are in our lives. So we already dealt with the hidden things, the hidden roots. We've gotten that up. We stirred that up. We really looked at it. We dissected. Like, look, that is what it is. That was the issue right there that made me feel all type of way, and that's why I had you know, went off on the kids or my wife or whatever the case may be. That was the reason why. Okay, I just need to come back to self. I need to calm down. I need to breathe. And let's come back to self. And let's understand that we need to accept, adapt, and overcome. All right? That's my couple of cents on how to deal with anger. But I know it's really real. It's really cool to have you with me and everything. But hey, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I am Isaac Rowe, your anger management specialist, Mr. I Love Anger. Love you guys, and peace.